Good morning, January 7th, 2021. Got the news here on, you can see in reflection. It just happens to be some things going on in the world, at least in the United States today. I don't know if they made the paper, into what entirety they made the paper. What do you think, Grace? Because sometimes the paper says, check the website for more up-to-date information. Although, it looks like the New York Times had plenty of time. They went with above the fold. Trump incites mob. Rampage in Capitol leads to evacuations. Democrats win in Georgia to take state Senate. And then we got Wires going with, for their headline, Grace, for the craziness of yesterday. Incited by Trump, mob halts count. So that, news of the day, main news of the day is pretty obvious what they were going to go with on front pages. So we're gonna read through them though, as if all news is equal, right, Grace? So we're gonna read through all of these articles. Not so much as if like, okay, let's focus on the insurrection, but let's give them all due diligence, right? So we take our sections apart, take the arts out. Thursday Styles. I'm a big Thursday Styles fan. Drew Barrymore on the cover. She's been around for a long period of time, Drew. Right, Grace? I mean, you gotta remember, like, she was an ET. A kid. I mean, we all know Drew Barrymore. And the headline, Drew Barrymore's keeping it clean. And she just can't get away from her history of a hard partying teen. Right? Yeah. All right. And then we have business. The tech to watch in 2021. Hard to put a finger on it. Get it? Clever. Yeah, right. I know. Great this. All right. So let's start with front section. Philadelphia Inquirer. You want to read this together with me? Anarchy. Rioters freely roam the Capitol before order is restored. Senate. Democrats sweep runoffs in Georgia for a slim majority. As the mob broke into the Capitol building, pushing through barricades and scuffling with police, thousands of supporters of President Donald Trump, who had incited them to march to that very spot, looked over the chaotic scene of an insurrection in America and cheered. It's starting, one man said ominously, as the sound of police sirens grew louder and someone played Amazing Grace on bagpipes nearby. It's beautiful, a woman replied. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Ave, and we're going to the Capitol, Trump said, during a speech near the Washington Monument. We're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country. So they did. Yeah, you can just watch the news or go on Twitter or any other website that provides news and learn all about it. Get all the takes. Because I'm going to move to other articles right now. I think we've all been given up plenty of info about the disgraceful behavior on the Capitol, our fellow Americans, yesterday. Pathetic, really. CDC, allergic reactions are extremely rare. Most people recovered after treatment with an EpiPen or similar device. Of the 1.9 million people who received the first COVID-19 vaccine dose in mid-December, 21 experienced a severe but treatable allergic reaction, federal health officials said Wednesday, calling the rate of such events exceedingly rare. I think 21 out of 1.9 million is a good ratio. Get your vaccination. Right? These people. I know I said go to your different news sources, but I gotta show some photos. To document the insanity. No. It's just... I mean, okay, I haven't seen this one. Some of these other ones I've seen, playing over and over again on news channels. I haven't seen that one. Right, Grace? Look at this guy. This guy is deranged. Out of his mind. Over what? Dude, like, get off the conspiracy websites. Log out of QAnon and... Right? Jeez, man. I was watching a little bit of the coverage, or a lot of the coverage, and one somebody had said that a lot of it. Okay. Somebody had said that the far right now it has abandoned Fox News. Fox News is not is also in on the conspiracy, apparently, according to some of these Newsmax and OAN viewers. So they have to turn to those stations because Fox News is just getting too moderate. Now we're on the editorial and opinions page, where I often stop. I look at the letters, look at the names of who wrote the letters. Paul Levy, President and CEO, Center City District. Jill Willits, Fort Washington. William McElroy, Ambler. And Bob. Oh, we have a guest. A special guest.
Good morning.
We got one viewer here.
Yeah.
Hi, Marley. Yeah. We're just reading right now the letters to the editor. This is one of our stops. Okay. So the one from Bob from Ambler's voter authentication. Yep. The one from William and Ambler's vaccine distribution plan. Jill wrote about the Eagles, quote, flighty ways. Jalen Hurts, it's not personal if the Eagles don't make you their starting quarterback next season. Remember, this is the team that traded their quarterback who got them into and won the Super Bowl against the toughest team and quarterback in the league, Tom Brady. The Eagles then erected a statue outside the stadium depicting Nick Foles and Doug Peterson planning the Philly special. Foles went on to take the team to the playoffs the following season. Maybe the Eagles will keep you as you haven't been so successful yet. You have only re-energized the team and played excellently in your games as the starting quarterback. One thing to keep in mind as you consider your options is, unfortunately, you may like to win more than the Eagles organization does. I hope to see you starting next season. I don't know if I disagree with you, Jill. I don't mind seeing Jalen Hurts play quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles at the beginning of next season either. All right. Front section. Done. Food and dining. Iron Hill. 25. It's eyeing expansion. 25 years old. I like an Iron Hill. I like their chicken. They have like a grilled chicken sandwich with they used to have one with a chipotle aioli. And I haven't had it in a while because I haven't been into a restaurant in a while because there's a thing called the coronavirus pandemic still ravaging the country. So unfortunately, I've just decided to stay out of indoor dining establishments. I've been forced to stay out as well in many cases. But it looks like Iron Hill is still trucking along. It's just opened its first production brewery, launched retail beer sales, and introduced its smaller tap house dining concept. It has a 4-pack to go, which includes a Russian Imperial Stout, a Sweet Leaf India Pale Ale, and a double Kryptonite IPA. Well, that'll get you. That'll get you. Okay. It's a little bit bigger for, nah, it's fine. I'm just getting a little bit distracted by the news here. I'm going to close her down. Just close her down real fast on my other computer. Put that baby to sleep. I focus on the newspapers. Right? So where is Iron Hill going? There's a space coming to Exton, Pennsylvania. What should people familiar with your brew pubs expect when they come visit? It's going to be a little bit different than your traditional Iron Hill restaurant. It's a fast casual model where you can walk up to the counter or you can sit down. We have handheld technology to take orders. Every menu item will be $12 and under. We'll have between 20 and 25 items. They will rotate based on chef discretion. We're pricing this pretty low because we want people to come in and try it. $12 for menu items and lower is a pretty good call, I think. I mean, I did the one thing I would say about Iron Hill when I would go is it did seem a little bit pricey. The dishes and the apps. We would get the cheesesteak egg rolls, right, Grace? You would get those. We would feed those to you, and you'd be all over those cheesesteak egg rolls. Here's an Iron Hill as a staff for training. I guess at the newest one. Kind of looks like the Fermentaria. If you've ever been out to Ardmore, Tired Hands' brewery in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Tired Hands. I would suffice to say, it's safe to say, nationally renowned brewery. But that setup, it's not obviously unique to Tired Hands Fermentaria, but that setup of an exposed ceiling and more that industrial look smacks of Fermentaria to me. Okay. All right, so that was a quick one. I mean, food and dining, usually I would skip the food section, but I saw Iron Hill on the cover, and I said, I don't mind an Iron Hill, so let me check that out. Sportsio. What a game last night. Sixers Wizards. What a high-flying, high-scoring affair. 141 Sixers, 136 Wizards. Beal, 60 points, Bradley Beal. I mean, you're talking hell of an effort. I was during the game. I think it was like the 8th highest points scored against the Sixers in the franchise history. First 5 or 6 spots, Wilt Chamberlain. And then it was I forget who else whittled on a list. Kemba Walker was on there actually, 2018. And then Beal was at the end, but this is when he had 58. So when he got 60, he could have passed a couple. Let's see. Oh, another one of these hyperbolic headlines from Marcus Hayes. This diva needs to grow up. Right, Grace? Talking about Carson Wentz. If this Donna was any more prima, his first name would be Louis and Lewis. Benched and buried quarterback Carson Wentz let the world know Tuesday that he needed some time to reflect, time to think, because a month on the sideline hadn't been quite enough. An Associated Press report indicated that Wentz did not participate in the team's traditional exit interviews. Rather, he decided to interview himself. When he finished, he will announce his future employment preferences at a time and place of his determination to his employers. You know, the employers to whom his services are already contractually committed. Wentz believes he has the full power of whether he will fulfill the contract, the richest in Eagles history. All right, I'm gonna move on from Wentz talk. I'm gonna look at the Sixers again. As the NBA's top team, the Sixers' matchup against the 2-win Wizards was, on paper, nothing more than a tune-up for a competitive stretch that begins Thursday night, tonight. Nice yawn. Against the Brooklyn Nets at the Barclays Center. Well, we shouldn't be thinking ahead anyway, Rivers said before the Sixers' victory at the Wells Fargo Center. We haven't earned that right yet, so we should be thinking with the team right in front of us. 7-1 the Sixers are after that win last night. Ooh, Rivers bothered by policing difference. This is an interesting little buried article here on page C3. Doc Rivers was candid while discussing Wednesday's attack on the U.S. Capitol by supporters of the president. The mob stormed the Capitol, and the building was put into lockdown. It took more than 3 hours for police to clear the steps of the building. The 76ers coach noticed the differences in law enforcement's response at the Capitol to the many Black Lives Matter protests this summer. You weren't the only one to notice that, Mr. Rivers. Police officers at the Capitol were subdued against the Trump supporters, a portion of whom breached the building, compared to the tactics that included violence against BLM protesters. It basically proves a point about a privileged life in a lot of ways, Rivers said before his 76ers faced the Washington Wizards. You know, I'll say because I don't think a lot of people want to, he added. Could you imagine today if those were all black people storming the Capitol, and what would have happened? You know, so that to me is a picture that's worth 1,000 words for all of us to see. Probably something for us to reckon with. Again, no police dogs turning on people, no billy clubs hitting people. People peacefully being escorted out of the Capitol. So it shows that you can disperse a crowd peacefully. I guess would be the one thing. Wizards coach Scott Brooks called the mob's actions embarrassing and sad. It's unacceptable, the former Sixer said. I don't know why Scott Brooks played for the Sixers. It must have been a short tenure. It's America's capital. You should not be able to do what I saw on video. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. It should never happen. All right. Brackets for the NCAA tournament could range from 48 to 80 teams. This much is clear. The NCAA is planning to have a men's basketball tournament on its regular schedule. But what's not clear is, will the event have its full complement of 68 teams, given the uncertainty of the pandemic? Could have 20 teams less, it appears. Could have 12 teams more. Today's weather. High of 44. Yeah. High of 44, sweetie. Plenty of sun. Tomorrow's weather. A little bit of clouds. Saturday and Sunday look really nice, though. Right around 40, full sunshine. The region. Army against virus. Would you like me to read one of these articles in the region section? You got it. 25 years ago today, the Philadelphia region was socked by a storm for the ages. 30.7 inches of snow in the city. The blizzard of 96, when I was in 10th grade, will become part of a new generation of mega snowstorms in Philly and the Northeast. Sophomore in high school, back then. The whole world in front of me. A stretch of road yet to be driven. Now it's pockmarked and cracked. It's a little much, but it is what? How many years ago was it? 96, 2006, 2016. Oh, 25. Almost 25. Actually, yeah, 25. I just read that. Girl's family settles for $950K. A South Jersey school district agreed to pay. The family linked the school laptop to her molestation by a predator. The family of a South Jersey middle school student that alleged she used a school-issued laptop without proper supervision and developed a friendship with an internet predator has reached a nearly $1 million settlement with the school district. The Collingswood Public School District agreed to the settlement with the student and her family, stemming from a March 2018 kidnapping and sexual assault by Liam Heim, then 23, of St. Petersburg. I'm going to just skip here to what might have went down with that situation. I am a little bit intrigued. The incident, which happened pre-COVID, raises computer safety questions as millions of students across the region and country log online daily for remote instruction. FBI in Philly said has seen a rise in attempts by cyber predators to target children since the pandemic. Experts say parents should closely monitor what their children are doing online and immediately report any concerns to school officials. You know, you should be doing that pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, post-pandemic, all the time. I would say, good idea, get your kids' passwords. I mean, depending upon the age, of course. Have the conversation about digital citizenship and not just, the pitfalls of an online life and the strangers you can meet, but also how to use the internet and research properly. How to find real news, not, conspiracies and sources that aren't vetted and approved. So yeah, I think those conversations are important, but I also think it shouldn't just be stuck on how dangerous the internet could be. So, as with everything, moderation is a balance in the fear mongering versus the positive aspects. According to the lawsuit, the girl, then a 7th grader, met Heim around February 2018 using the school laptop to a chat room he created called the Doak Literature Club. It included a search engine known as Discord, which middle schoolers could access. Around that time, the victim's parents asked the district to block their daughter's access to any websites unrelated to schoolwork, but the district did not respond, the lawsuit alleged. They became increasingly concerned about her laptop and told the school they did not want her to bring it home, the lawsuit said. The lawsuit also alleged that a school guidance counselor was made aware of the girl's improper contact with Heim, but never informed the girl's parents, school officials, or authorities. What a piece of what a piece. Try not to, keep it PG. But seriously though, come on, man. Scumbag. Monco Teen is charged in killing. Prosecutors say his careless handling of a gun led to the death of his friend. Oh no. That's gotta be, that's the worst. Norristown teen has been charged with murder after shooting his longtime friend in the head with a gun while carelessly handling it, prosecutors said Wednesday. Victor Bell Jr., 16, was arraigned late Tuesday on charges of third-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and possessing the instrument of a crime. Bell was visiting Diamond Rahat, whom he told police he considered his older sister, on Sunday. During the visit, Rahat's grandfather heard a loud bang from her upstairs bedroom and ran into Bell as the teen was walking out of the room. Bell said only that Rahat had been shot and quickly left the house. Inside Rahat's room, police found the 23-year-old lying on her bed unresponsive. She had been shot once in the head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Next to her body, investigators found a .40 caliber pistol that was registered in her name. During an interview with police, Bell said he had been lying in bed with Rahat with the gun next to them when a friend of his started a FaceTime call with him. Bell picked up the gun while on the call, waving it around to show his friend, the affidavit said. At one point, Bell asked Rahat to hand him a cigar, and when he turned to take it from her, the affidavit said the gun accidentally went off. What a strange series of events. Okay, there's a couple things here that kind of make me say, You got a 16-year-old in bed with a 23-year-old who is an older sister, quote unquote, smoking cigars on a FaceTime call, twirling a gun around. And it looks like the grandfather was there. So, where are the parents, of course? It's a shame all around. But my gosh, what a sequence of circumstances that make you question why? How do we tumble from a 16-year-old accidentally shooting his friend to he was in bed with a 23-year-old smoking a cigar, FaceTime, and twirling a gun around? Ouch. All right, now we get to the obits. And before we get there, actually, I'm going to see the Carolyn Hacks, what kind of advice she's going to be offering today. Carolyn, here's your question. What say you, Carolyn? L-Y-N's, Carolyn. I found out my 84-year-old father has cancer. I found out from my sister, who found out from his wife. But both communications were in secret. My father hasn't told either of my sister or me directly. I'd like to be able to communicate with him about this, but I'm not sure how to bring it up. I think his failure to tell us could in part be his own selfishness, insensitivity. He also failed to tell us when he remarried, but also because he doesn't want to burden us. To the extent it's the latter, it seems like I should be able to tell him that it isn't a problem, but to the extent it's for his own personal reasons, I guess it's his choice. Answer. It is, though it's one that affects you and others, clearly. Seems to me the most respectful plan is to accept his decision and drop the subject. The respect meets honesty plan is go back to the source and ask his wife to nudge him to tell his kids, at least. If she says no, or if she does it, and he says no, then think of this as a gift you can give your father. You play along, and you let him think he's protecting you from all this. Or if he's just thoughtless, you play along and let him think he's getting won by all of you. The it's his life to manage truth is at its most urgent at the end of life, isn't it? And even if he beats the cancer, 84 still gives him every right to yell you all off his lawn. Yeah, if he doesn't want to say anything, I think you just let him not say anything. Sometimes people just have to step outside themselves and be like, it's not about me. Have some self-awareness. Take your needs, your desires, your feelings about how someone should behave. Pull them out of your head, put them on the side, and try to empathize and say, what does this person need? What is this person's motivations internally that have nothing to do with me? Trust me, I've got my own share of parental issues. So I've been doing that for my whole life. Feels like. Obits time. Time for a moment of silence. Mike Grace? Right. Moment of silence for Michael Bass, beloved husband of Diane, father of Brian Bass and Christopher Bass. Marcia Burish, age 80 of Westchester. Walter Mahoney, 90, Wayne, PA, died at home on January 3rd. He embraced his Marine Corps brethren, organizing reunions, calling them on the phone for long talks, and writing a manuscript on the Marine Corps memories, Proud Fraternity, he called it. Any younger deceased today? I always kind of find myself looking at the ages and saying, wow, too soon. 68 looks like one of the youngest here. I'm seeing mostly 80s and 90s today. Oh, thanks.
I have to log on to a PD at 7:30, so I don't really have time to really take an order.
Do you want to grab her?
Yeah, there's no orange juice either.
Got my egg and cheese sandwich here.
Let me put my contact in.
Thanks, babe. Got my egg and cheese to get me started. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat in front of you. I will drink my coffee, though. Grace, you line up my egg and cheese? You're going to have your oatmeal. Okay. Oh! Barbara Spillane, Upper Darby. Whoa! Okay. She's over here trying to slap my sandwich down. Sometimes she just don't know, and some sort of thing will happen, and out will go her arms, and it'll be like, what's going to be tackled? There's a lot of abruptness happening in Grace's life sometimes, and then there's a lot of just nothing. All right, say goodbye. It's good to have you as a guest again.
To say goodbye? Go ahead, say goodbye.
Okay. Love you.
Love you. Okay.
All right.
Yes,
Again, it's just me now.
yeah.
All right. Well, rest in peace, my friends. I hope you all had fulfilling lives. As much as life can be fulfilling, you know. I think it was I don't know who, maybe Walt Whitman, who said something that I can't remember. It was very poignant about a man's life is filled with quiet desperation. I think quiet desperation might summarize components of all our lives. We all kind of strive for something probably that we just don't know what that is. Something feels potentially missing. And we, have this, we have that, we have this achievement, we've reached this life goal, and it's still something that's just, most men live their lives in quiet desperation, something like that. It just kind of settles there. I wonder if that's just more of an individualistic culture American thing too. I feel like in some collective societies, you'd be like more, since you're more aware of your role in the community and you more depend upon others, and you kind of associate your worth by your relationships with others and your contributions to your society. Maybe you don't feel that emptiness as much. But I grew up in the United States, so Thursday Styles. There's Drew. Drew. Why are we writing about Drew today? Like, what is it that Drew? How did Drew, her publicist, her PR team, get her the cover above the fold on the Thursday Styles in the New York Times? What is it that she's doing? Drew Barrymore show. Oh, the stains. I guess that's why she's on. She's doing a show, and so they. Oh, the stains. The stains. It's the stains that truly obsess Drew Barrymore. I'm a stan for stains, she said on a recent episode of the Drew Barrymore show, her syndicated talk show that premiered nationally in mid-September. Not that she knew that a stan, a portmanteau of stalker and fan, actually was, which explains why she pronounced it stand. Oh, Drew. Oh, you 45-year-old, you're such out of touch. Stand. I don't want to really read much. Was that a pocket watch? Pocket watch? I mean, I don't think it's a pocket watch. It's like a pocket jewelry. I don't see any like watch face there. I see like a head, almost like it's Marcus Aurelius or something. I can't really make it out. Oh, I found myself in the New York Times, unbeknownst to me. I was just kind of going through my sections, and here we are in the New York Times. So, whoops. Didn't announce that I was done the Inquirer. It's fast. Does water plus lemon equal wellness? Hydration is trending, but beware of claims that oversell the benefits of a simple ritual. Every morning around 7, as she prepares to film a live workout for her 238,000 Instagram followers from her New York City apartment, Megan Roop sips on warm water with a squeeze of lemon while her French press coffee brews. It's a ritual she has followed for years, the origin of which she can't quite remember. It just gets things moving and grooving in the morning, said Miss Roop, a fitness instructor in her 30s who founded the Sculpt Society workout, beloved by many models. Along with a probiotic, it's really helped my overall digestion. It just gets things moving. That's exactly where my mind went. But I thought you might say moving and grooving in like just like a kind of colloquial way, kind of like, not actually meaning a bowel movement, is what I mean. Like using the toilet. But then she like clarified it for us. So I was like, okay. She is referring to that kind of movement. Fair enough, Miss Roop. You got about, I don't know, 237,900 more followers than I have on Instagram. So if you want to go out and praise your going to the bathroom routine publicly, knock yourself out. Miss Roop is one of many influential figures, who swear by the lemon and water drink, which counts Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston, and Gisele Bündchen as devotees. In interviews with models and on fitness apps, the tip has become commonplace, almost a given at this point. Melissa Wood Tepperberg, the founder of the Pilates-centric Melissa Wood Health Method, is another believer, posting about it almost daily on social media. My wife's been drinking water with lemon in it for, I don't know, years and years, with like zero sort of trying to convert people to its benefits kind of action. She just drinks it because she likes the taste. So all of a sudden now it's like the trendy thing to do. Wait. Waiters have been asking you if you want lemon in your water for centuries. Maybe not centuries, decades. So why is this now a story? I'll never understand that. There's a lot of pseudoscience out there that's well-intentioned but often misses the mark, says Dr. Panta Rouhani Schaefer, a dermatologist in New York. Water with lemon, at least, is considered fairly harmless and, unlike the myriad branded hydration options, easily accessible. a pack of 38 green tablets, and a 2-ounce bottle of Sakura Life Beauty Water Drops. What? Each cost $39. Liquid IV charges $25 to $120 for packets of 16 to 19 hydration sticks. WTF. Like many American wellness remedies, the drink is actually a repackaged ritual from another country, in this case Italy, known to some Italian natives as carino or canary. The drink is one of the country's many known-as remedies that are used as a post-meal digestif, upset stomach soother, or cold killer, depending on whom you ask. Prepared by combining boiling water with a lemon peel, bay leaf, and occasionally a drop of honey, the mixture is an ancient remedy used by Italian grandmas to help bring immediate relief to their loved ones, said Francesco Luca Torta, a 31-year-old who lives in Genoa. All right, so it's not just water and lemon, but in some areas of this article it is. Okay, I've spent enough time analyzing water and lemon. I'm going to move on from that. Hey, they're playing your song again. Taylor Swift, Valerie Starr, Amy Winehouse, Sharona Alperin, and Doug Fieger pictured. There are some songs that have lyrics so saturating of our psyche that they seem almost innate. That have crowds raising their voice, drinks, and bellowing along to the chorus in a dive bar at 2 a.m. Well, maybe not that. At least not now. But what if that song that seems to be playing everywhere has an uncanny resonance? What if that song is actually about you? Songs named for people have long been part of the pop culture landscape. Dolly Parton's Jolene. Jolene! Reminds me of... I like to watch react videos, clearly, because I'm doing one right now, my own version of one. But I like to watch react videos of younger kids, teenagers, hearing songs for the first time, at least according to them. And I like this Twins is the New Trend group of guys that react to... I think where I first discovered them was probably because I was looking for people that react to Tool songs, as I was like a kind of a Tool nerd, band Tool. And when they came out with their CD a couple years ago, and the first ones in 13 years, I was like, let's see what people who haven't heard Tool think about the band. A very unique band, one of a kind, dare I say, and that kind of got me down the rabbit hole of other react videos. So I stumbled upon this Twins is the New Trend, and they do a good job kind of going over songs that sometimes I'm like, how did they not hear this before? But their reactions seem genuinely like they're actually like surprised by what they're hearing, and like, okay. Anyway, all this is to say, one of those songs was Jolene, and they've added the reaction to that Dolly Parton song in the intro to each of their reaction videos. So I often hear Jolene when I watch them, as well as the, of course, the part in the Phil Collins song, In the Air Tonight, when it comes in with the drums. The elusive Lola name drop by the Kinks and the mysterious Roxanne. Taylor Swift's new album, Evermore, has 2 tracks named for women. Marjorie appears to be inspired by Miss Swift's grandmother, and the other one, Dorothea, has set the internet alive with debate about its inspiration. All of this is very familiar to Valerie Starr, a makeup artist. In 2006, David McCabe, whom she had dated for a short time, wrote an indie rock song about the relationship. Their heady romance was cut short when Miss Starr was arrested on charges of driving under the influence, and Mr. McCabe's musical tribute served as a song, a sort of wistful love letter to her. Played by his band the Zootons, the song peaked at number 9 on the British charts. It might have faded into obscurity, but for the interest of Amy Winehouse, who recorded a version of Valerie with Mark Ronson. The rest is a history written in endless covers and, at one time, karaoke renditions. That's when I really started hearing the song out and about randomly in movies and commercials, Miss Starr said in an interview. It's everywhere. It was a brilliant song, and I loved everything about it. It described that moment in my life and those trials and tribulations that I had gone through in the most quintessential way. Like the Zootons, whose other almost hit track was Oh Stacy, Look What You've Done, Miss Swift has name-dropped many times in her lyrics. Alright, let's see. Now you got me curious. The Zootons. Remember the Zootons? I listened to a couple of their jams. Here we go.
Sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water.
Alright. I see you, Zootons.
What you do, and in my head I make a picture.
Betty was speculated to be Carly Kloss, whose middle name is Elizabeth, and Rebecca Harness, who was said to have used Betty as a nickname, before Miss Swift eventually confirmed that the song was named after Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' youngest daughter. Taylor Swift again, like she's everywhere. Naming songs for like your friends' kids. Like she's just strange. She'd be a strange chick to me, dude. I don't know. That any of the women that Miss Swift sings about in her latest record may never be revealed. Oh, I really need to find out if she even exists. But if she does, then Sharona Alperin, the subject of the next 1979 My Sharona, may have some wisdom to impart. No, look, here's My Sharona. In the flesh. Or actually on paper. There are a lot of good days and bad days, Miss Alperin said. I've never gone a week without people singing My Sharona to me. It's never gone a week. She was 21. So she's been hearing that a long time. It's been with me all these years. And it would never do me any good to feel anything other than gratitude and humility about it. It's nice to bring people excitement, and it's a special thing in my life. I appreciate the wonderful experience it's been. Huh. This is interesting. Who's Miss Starr? I don't know. Can't find when they first introduced Miss Starr in this article. Oh, Valerie Starr. Duh. She's the one who I was just talking about. She's the one that the Zootons wrote that song about. She managed to keep it a secret until her identity was revealed in 2019 when she was tracked down by Vice. But although she said she has now removed Valerie from her playlist and avoids bringing up the connection to the song on her first date, she has no regrets about what she called a part of my life, a moment in time that has transpired that will live forever. Valerie has made a mark that has now taken on a life of its own. I want to change anything about it. All right, moving on, 49 minutes now. Thank you for the one person who's sticking around, reading the paper with me this morning. It's great to have your company. I'll be doing this anyway, but I'm doing this anyway live on camera, but it's great to have someone to do it with. What I'm saying is I've been reading the paper regardless, because I've been reading the paper regardless for years and years. And I really enjoy it. Arts. Dr. Dre is hospitalized in Los Angeles. What's going on with Dre? Dr. Dre, the music producer and entrepreneur who leveraged his fame in hip-hop into billion-dollar businesses with the Beats brand of headphones and a music streaming service, confirmed on social media late Tuesday that he had been hospitalized in LA and that he was doing great. Thanks to my friends, family, and fans for their interest and well wishes, he said on Instagram. I will be out of the hospital and back home soon. Dr. Dre's statement came after reports that he had a brain aneurysm and had spent time in the intensive care unit. Two people close to the musician confirmed those reports, but little other information was available, and neither Dr. Dre nor his representatives gave specific information about his condition. He was still in the hospital on Wednesday, one of those people said. You believe this? While he was in the hospital on Tuesday night, a burglary was attempted at his home in LA. The police said that 4 people were arrested. I mean, it's not a coincidence. Clearly, somebody who knew he was in the hospital and not at his house and not coming home for a while took advantage of the situation. So I would look at your friends, and other people that are close by you, Dre. See who betrayed you. Oh no. The police arrested 4 of them. You can see for yourself if you know any of them and their motivations. Till then, business. What if I don't want to watch? I appreciate Brian Chen, but I'm not sure I want to watch tech in 2021. I think I got enough tech. Although, I say that now, but I love me some tech. So. Top editor at Reuters is stepping down after a decade. All right, let's see what the tech to watch is. Fine. Tech to watch. Tech that replaces our stores. You may not have noticed it as you shop online, but the experience is changing. Clicking through a navigation bar of a website to find an item has become passé. A search bar that allows you to look up a specific product is faster. In some cases, chatting with a bot may be even more efficient. Wi-Fi is getting smarter. A home technology problem that the pandemic underscored was our sluggish, unreliable internet connections. Thankfully, Wi-Fi technology keeps getting better. This year, we will see a wave of new internet routers that include Wi-Fi 6, a new networking standard. Unlike past wireless upgrades, Wi-Fi 6 will focus not on speed, but rather on efficiency by sharing bandwidth across a large number of devices. Here's what that means. Let's say your family owns smartphones, several computers, and a game console. Game consoles. If all of them are being used to consume heavy amounts of data, Wi-Fi 6 does a better job at providing bandwidth to all the devices at the same time, as opposed to letting one device hog most of it. All right. Tech that lets us keep our hands to ourselves. Okay, so touchless payments. 67% of American retailers accepts touchless payments, up from 40% in 2019. And tech that virtualizes work and self-care. Microsoft's AltSpace VR, for example, lets you and your colleagues wear headsets to have meetings in hologram form. Whoa now, holograms. Jeez. Facebook's Oculus, which I have, and the first version of it when they first released it. I don't know when that was, a couple years ago. And that was a great novelty, and I brought it to the beach and gave it to my family and friends, and they tried it out, and everybody was oohing and awing over it. My younger nephew, who was probably 8 at the time, was obsessed with it. And now I think it's gathering dust somewhere in a bin in the closet. Oculus said it was hastening its plan to bring virtual reality to offices. It plans to bundle its latest headset, the Oculus Quest 2, with business-ready software that helps companies train employees and collaborate for about 800 builds. We know Twitter locked out Trump, as did Facebook, after chaos erupts on Capitol Hill. Look at Jeff Dorsey's beard. On, my man. Get at it. It's a nice, hearty beard. It's one of those things that, like, good-looking dudes do, I've seen. Like, good-looking dudes like Dorsey. There's that whole show with Zac Efron traveling to all these different places, like, slumming it. You say it's like they want to like make themselves look more not as kept, just like not as pretty boyish. Not that Dorsey is like a pretty boy type look, but that beard is clearly saying, "Hey, don't mistake me for some playboy. Don't mistake me for some model. I'm an eccentric, esoteric CEO of a social media company. So I'm going to grow me a beard. Stand out." I like the look. I approve, Jack. Yeah, this is what I was scared about. I mean, I'm not scared per se, but a renewed push for cyclist safety after 5 died near Las Vegas. I read this article I read about this incident a few weeks ago. And I'm an avid cyclist. I try to go 60 to 100 miles a week on my bike. I love it. Love it. I can tell you it's one of the best. You know, I will shill for cycling for free. It's mentally, physically, emotionally, if you're into spiritual stuff, spiritually, everything about riding a bike on the open road, getting some speed on the road, getting out by yourself 20, 30 miles at a time or more or less, whatever you can manage. It is a stress reliever. Again, it keeps you in shape. It's just fantastic. However, it can be dangerous. There's been times when I've been people driving cars can be a-holes. I don't know what else to say. They it's almost like they're like, can I get close enough to you to scare you? But I'm not going to hit you. But I'm not going to go around you with enough space to make you feel comfortable. I'm going to test you. And it happens a lot. It's people driving cars. They don't like bikers. Majority of them. And in Las Vegas, back in last month, driver of a box truck struck a group of 14 bicyclists who were taking part in an annual 130-mile ride escorted by safety vehicles with flashers, killing 5 of them. The driver told investigators that he had fallen asleep at the wheel moments before the crash. He was found to have a high level of methamphetamine in his system and faces 12 felony charges, including driving under the influence and reckless driving. Now, this guy was clearly impaired, so there's a little bit of a caveat to that claim I just made about drivers, like not really giving bikers their leeway. However, it happens. It happens a lot. So it's scary to see that you have these bikes riding around on the shoulder, escorted by vehicles, and they can still get hit. 5 of them can still die. Whereas here's me on the road by myself. I got my helmet on, of course. I'm all geared up. But I've had tires go on potholes because I've been forced onto the shoulder, into a really crummy shoulder that I've had to navigate because cars just won't give me space. I had a car hit me once. I'm a small, like it was more of a getting too close to me and hitting me with the rear view mirror, which caused me to lose balance and fall off my bike. I braced myself, and somebody else who drove by after the car that hit me kept going, of course, didn't stop. Somebody else yelled out the window, "You took that fall like a champ." And I was like, kind of made me feel like, oh, look at me. Like, but I wish I hadn't fallen at all. Nobody stopped to help. I got up, dusted myself off. Somebody might have yelled out, "You okay?" I'm like, yeah. Just another incident involving a car. Got to get to where you got to go without caring about anybody else in your way. Five cyclists were killed on a rural stretch of highway just south of Las Vegas last month. Days after the tragedy, activists staged a memorial service outside a local bike shop with a large ghost bike statue, and there are signs the accident has touched a nerve within and beyond Nevada. This ghost bike was placed at the scene of the fatal accident in 2016. So there's another accident in 2016 where this ghost bike, I guess it's like a memorial, was placed. They had seen too many accomplished bicyclists who were obeying the law cut down by frustrated or distracted motorists. As a call to action, they have erected a half dozen of these memorials, stripped down working bicycles painted a ghostly shade of white in the last 4 years. The bikes are a message to Nevada lawmakers: do something about the carnage. And lastly, front section of the New York Times. I'm going to just skip right to, this is an hour long. I'm going on an hour now. I got an 8 o'clock Zoom. I gotta move on. Trump incites rioters. The president's real claim to fame. Don't know what that is. America is in a reality crisis. This is what we get after years of propaganda, conspiracy, and lies. And then the lead editorial: Mr. Trump is to blame for Capitol attack. President Trump and his Republican enablers in Congress incited a violent attack Wednesday against the government they lead and the nation they profess to love. This cannot be allowed to stand. We knew the NYT slant, but they're right. This is typically the case. All right. If you're driving today, watch out for bikers and cyclists. Maybe wave instead of giving them a finger. Say, hey, this guy's just trying to get exercise. He's just trying to clear his head. Who knows what he's trying to clear his head about? But I can tell you, there are things going on up there that this cycling resolves for him or her. So, pass with care and have a great day.